All right, first we're gonna start with the scarf. So you can make it in any color you want depending on what character you're going for. So I am using claret and goldenrod. I'm going to show you how the back is just as clean as the front. Obviously you know which is which, but it just makes the color changes nicer. And it's a fun little trick that you can use on blankets. I'm going to start out with my A color. My A color is going to be the claret. So I'm going to make a slip knot, my 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to crochet in the back bumps. See the little bumps? I'm going to crochet in that instead of the back of the chain. So I'm going to crochet 1 back bump, 2, and 3. Chain 1, turn. 3 single crochet across, 1, 2, and the third one we're going to start a single crochet and not finish it. Now we're going to add in our B color. For me, that's goldenrod. Leave a decent tail, but not too long because you are going to crochet over it. So I'd say about that should be good. Pull your A color tight, pull your B color, long tail, tight, and chain 1. Turn. Grabbing your little tail of your B color, lay it on top and crochet right over it. If you need to pull down on this one a little bit more, that's okay. So 3 single crochet across, 1 over your tail, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, kind of pull your tail up and around and lay it on top again. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn. One more time over the tail, 1, 2, and now I am dropping the tail. And in the last one, I will not be working over the tail. 3. Okay, pause real quick and snip off the tail. There you go. One more time, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, start the single crochet but don't finish it, in, pull up. With your B color, pull it down on your hook, kind of tight, and grab with your thumb over here. With your A color, wrap and pull up through the hole. Now, you can loosen it a little bit, make sure that your scarf doesn't curve too much, and chain 1. Turn. Let your B color dangle. Now we're going to go across 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, and we're going to change colors in the third one. Start our single crochet, hold with our thumb, bring up the B color, wrap, pull through loosely, not too loose, pull it a little bit, chain 1, and turn. See how our color changes are all on the back this way? But they still look pretty good, and you don't have to sew in a million tails. You're welcome. Now, we just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about to start row 11. You are going to complete this pattern for 30 rows. So you have your half block where you started, that's this one right here. So counting up from, you have a B block, an A block, a B block, an A block, a B block, an A block, and you end in a B block. Which means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more blocks to go, and then you'll have your scarf. And all you do at the very end is you chain 1, you fasten off, and you pull up. And you want decent tails on either side, because all I do so that they're removable is I just tie a little bow so that they're around the neck. You can always sew them if you want, but I like the idea of them being removable. So that's all you got to do for the scarf. You need to make a magic ring. Drape over 2 fingers, pinch with your thumb, wrap and create an X. Wrap back around and pinch with your thumb again. Turn your hand, use your hook with the hook side down, go under the first loop, grab the next loop, pull it through, whoop, and twist. At the same time, grab this piece and pull it through the hole. There you go. And it'll look like that. 6 single crochet into your magic ring. Insert your hook, wrap over, bring through, wrap and go through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. 1, 2, 3. In, wrap, pull up, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. Once you have 6 single crochet, pull the tiny tail slightly closed. We still want a hole there. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. That is this one right here. Not this little bump. This bump is nothing. This is a stitch. 2 loops on your hook, please. Wrap, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, wrap, pull through again, and in the same stitch, you're going to do another one. Now, where's your stitch marker? Count back 2, 1, 2, mark that stitch. This is an increase round. That means there will be 2 single crochet in every stitch. And 2 more. 1, 2. Count and make sure you have 12. The next row, we are going to do a staggered increase. Staggered increase means that whatever you do in the first row, you don't do in the next row. So to start that, take out your stitch marker, put 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, get your stitch marker back and count the first one. Back up, 1, 2. In the very next stitch, you're going to just make 1 single crochet. You're going to repeat that pattern around 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 until you have 18 stitches. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you should end on a single crochet all by itself. Okay, I'm going to pause and sew in my tail. You could also work over your tail if you want to. I'm just going to sew mine in. I'm just going to pick any stitch, and I'm going to do the lazy way, which is I just make a knot. I know that's not the way that like you're supposed to do it, but that's what I do, and I don't care. Okay, your next row, you're going to take your stitch marker out. You're going to make 1 single crochet in this stitch. Mark it. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And an increase, or 2 stitches, in the next stitch. So that is your pattern. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. So 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. And you should have 24 stitches at the very end. I will meet you at the end. Okay, you should have 24 stitches. Please count them. Remember, we count the little V's. Now in the next round, we are going to start building up. So we are going to take out our stitch marker, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite tricks ever. Take out your stitch marker, put in 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch, make another stitch. Stop. Now, I'm going to use a different color stitch marker, and I am going to count back to 1, 2. Now, normally we put our stitch marker up here in the top, right? That's where it normally goes, so that we can see when we go around. But when you like to go in continuous rounds, I like to put it on the side. Like that. And I'm going to show you why. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in every one of these stitches until we get back to that stitch marker, and I will show you why I like doing it this way. Also, in this round, round 5, I strongly recommend that you count your stitches as you go in this particular row, because this is your foundation row, and if your foundation row numbers are off, the rest of it will be off, and if you mess up, you don't want to do what we call frogging, which is ripping out your stitches. You don't want to do that. So, please count. Make sure you have 24 stitches. Okay, we are back at the stitch marker. Now, we're going to single crochet on top of that stitch, like that, and then crochet in the next one. Now look, it creates a line. See this line? You just follow that up as you crochet around and around, and you don't have to move it every single time when you put it on the side. This is my trick. When I put it on the top, this is an increase round or a decrease round. When it's on the side, it's a continuous around and around. Just a fun little tip that I like to use. Now you can use it too. So, rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you just finished 5. So 6 through 9, you are just going to go around and around. And in the last stitch, before round 10, is where I will meet you. Okay, see this beautiful line this has created? Look at this. These are all of our stitches. This is 5 through 9. How beautiful is that? Now, we've still got our other stitch marker that we need. So, this is the last stitch before the next round. This is where you need to change color here. So we're going to insert our hook, wrap and pull up. Don't finish. Leave 2 loops on your hook. Grab your next color, probably a skin tone, and grab your 2 pieces like this and twist. Now grab the other one with your hand like that and pull that color through the 2 loops. Tighten down both of them like that. Now in the next round, round 10, we are slip stitching in the back loop only. So this is the back loop. We are putting our hook in, wrapping, and pulling through everything. That is a slip stitch. You're going to do that all the way around. It seems like an extra step, but I promise you, this is one of the cleanest ways to change color. It is called the almost perfect color change. And I have a really slow, easy tutorial on my channel already if you want a really slowed down version of how to do this. And of course, I will link it below. You don't even really need a stitch marker for this row because you can see the color difference clearly. Don't forget the stitch. It's a stitch. Now, round 11. Don't forget this stitch, it's very important. In the back loop only of the next row, we will do a single crochet. So here we are, this back row right here, insert our hook, pull up a loop, go through 2. Now it's got a bit of a gap. It's okay, the gap goes away, I promise. So if it looks like you can see, in my case green, through the pink, that's okay. Just single crochet in every back loop, all the way around. Okay, this is the last stitch of this round. Don't miss it. And there we go. Now, rounds 12, 13, and 14, all you do is you just continue going around. Now we're going through both loops like you're used to. Make sure you still have 24, that's important, and just go around and around. You can move your stitch marker up if you'd like to, or you can use your other one. And I would mark 12 instead of 11 or 10 because it's kind of hard to mark that one. So I would mark round 12, 13, and 14, and I will meet you at the end of round 14. You have 1 stitch left in round 14. So I'm going to start it, and I'm going to add my hair color. Just like we've been doing. Now, I'm going to do 1 stitch over the tail of my hair color. So this is the beginning of round 15. So in round 15, we're going to do 10 single crochet around. Now, first I'm going to do just 1 stitch right here. And then I'm going to go on the inside and tie a knot with the skin color and the tail of my hair color. And if you haven't already, you can fasten off your skin tone. Go and tuck the tails inside. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double check. 3, 6, 9, 10. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do a spike stitch. If you were here for my Harry Potter tutorial, then you might already know how to do a spike stitch. But in case you don't, as you can see, a regular single crochet goes in this stitch right here. But a spike stitch means you go down under the single crochet from below. So instead of going here, I'm going to go here. Wrap, pull up a little bit and go through. See, it's like a really long single crochet, basically. We're going to do another one. And another one. We're going to do 5 in total. So that's 3, 4, and 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your next stitch is right there, and it's just a single crochet. And you're going to make 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was round 15. We're going to pause here for a minute. You can put a stitch marker in there so that if your yarn gets pulled while you're doing stuff, it's not going to go anywhere. See how this part is shorter? These long pieces are her bangs. That's where we're going to place the safety eyes. So she has 5 bangs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Her middle bang is our midline. So we are going to start here and count over 2. 1, 2. Down 1. That's where one eye goes. Go back to our midline. 1, 2. Go down 1. That's where the other eye goes. You should have 3 stitches in between. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Now place your backs. You can give her eyelashes at this point, but I personally would wait until the end, because what I do to do her eyelashes is I use a ultra thin Sharpie, and I don't want to smear the ink with my thumb getting in the way or anything, so I would wait. 16, we are working in the back loops only. And we're going to do 2 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Mark the first one, just so you don't lose your place, and you don't need this one anymore. There you go. Now we are going to decrease in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to go in the back loop, bring up a loop, in the back loop, bring up a loop. Go through all 3. That's how you decrease in the back loop. That's our pattern. 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease. So do that all the way around, and I will meet you right before the end of round 16. Okay, I have 2 stitches left in round 16, and of course that will be a decrease. Okay, so you started with 24 stitches and you went down by 6, so now you have 18. Moving on to round 17. You're in both loops now. 1 single crochet, mark it, decrease in the next 2 stitches. So I like to use the invisible decrease, where you go under the front loop and under the front loop like that, go through 2, go through 2. Or you can do the single crochet 2 together, which is basically exactly what we did for the back loops, except you go through both loops this time. But that's it. So that's our pattern. 1 and then a decrease. 1 and then a decrease. Last one should be a decrease. Okay. And that was round 17. Now I'm going to pause here and I'm going to stuff. I am using fiberfill. You can use anything you like. And the idea is to kind of flatten the bottom as you stuff so that it sits up. Okay, round 18. We are working in the back loops only again. Why? Because we are going to need the loops that we're not using when we do her hair, like that. So in the back loops only, we are going to decrease 6 times. So we're going to go in, pull up, in, pull up, and instead of marking this stitch, I am going to mark the unused stitch right there. The unused front loop, okay? You can just kind of push the fluff down while you do this. In, like that. That's 2. This is 3. And 6. This is important. Do not fasten off. We are going to get started on her hair. That's right. We're not going to sew. We're not going to add a million pieces. No, 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 no. We're going to do this all in one piece as best we can. Do not lose the stitch marker. It is your friend. So, yes, there's a hole in her head. It's okay. We'll close it later. As you can see, there's an inner circle. That's about 6 stitches. And an outer circle, which is 12 stitches. The 12 stitches is what we're going to be working into. The 6 stitches is what we're going to close later. Okay? So ignore this tiny circle. We are only working in, that's why I had you mark this stitch, this outer circle. Okay? We're going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can lay your little tot down if that's easier. We are going to skip the first 2, 1, 2, and into the third we're going to make a half double crochet. 3 times. 1, this is 2, and 3. In the next 3 chains, right here, and right here, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to make 3 half double crochets in each of those chains. 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. Last one, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to make 7 single crochet up the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Did you notice how my tension was kind of light during that? Because you want her hair to have some body, so you don't want it to be super tight stitches. Okay? Now, this is what we've got. Turn your tot like that. See where the stitch marker is? That is where you're going to join your hair. So you're going to slip stitch into this little front loop like so. Now you're going to move this stitch marker. Very important. To the other side of this hair. You're going to move it right there in the little circle. Okay? That's important. Please do that now. Now we are going to do exactly what we did before. We're going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lay it on its side if you need to. Skip 2 chains. 1, 2, go into the third and make a half double crochet. And then 2 more half double crochets in that chain. 1 and 2. In the next 3, we are going to make 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. So if you don't know if you did enough, if you open it like so, you can see there are holes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes right now. That means I went into 4 chains. Isn't that a cool trick? So that tells me I did enough. So there's 3 in this one, 3 in this one, 3 in this one, and 3 in this one. Just a trick. Okay. Down the chain, of course, we are going to make 7 half double crochets. Keep your tension kind of loose, not too loose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and don't forget the last one. It might be hard to see. 7 is right here. Okay. Turn your tot, and you've got some front loops here. You've got one here and one here. You're going to skip this one, and you're going to go over to the next one. So skip one loop, go over to the next loop, and slip stitch into that. Make sure you're still on the outer circle, not the inner, okay? So see how that's looking? So we're going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to skip the first 2 chains, these 2 right here, go into the third 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The next 3 chains, we're going to do the same. 3 half double. 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. Do our little trick here. Do we have 4 holes? 1, 2, 3, 4. We do. Okay. Now it's time for our 7 half double crochet down the chain. Don't miss the first one. It's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Skip a loop in the next slip stitch. Okay, again, chain 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, skip 2 into the third, 3 half double, 1, 2, 3, 3 more times. Next one. Next one. Did we do 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. 7 half double down the chain. Seven is right there, just in case you can't see it. Okay, we've got a loop right here, skip over, go into the next one. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. Chain 13. Skip 2. You know the drill by now. The reason I'm doing this with you is because I need to show you where to place them. Also, I'm showing you how fast this is. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Nope, one more. That little counting the holes trick has saved me so much time. By the way, no one taught that to me. I just figured it out one day. It's like, I could just count the holes. Okay, see and skip into the next one. Chain 13. Loop, skip into the next one. This is the last one, and when you're done, you will slip stitch right here. So lifting, this was our first one, and we're lifting it up, and right here is where you will slip stitch. Okay? I'll meet you when you get there. Lift up this piece of hair right here. That's where I'm slip stitching. Fasten off with a long tail. I mean a long tail. Because you're going to have to do some sewing to the head and closing the hole. And that will be what we do next. Okay, first we're going to place things where we want them. So get out your pins. And so this yarn is not nearly as thick as the yarn I used for this one. So I have to place things a little bit differently because otherwise there won't be enough hair. So I'm going to take the pieces that are around her face and push them back. So here's one bang, probably about 2 stitches. Now I'm just going to pull it so it's kind of flat right there. And I'm going to pin it in place. Do the same to the other side. Then do the next piece, just kind of place it next to it. And on the other side. Make sure you don't pin the yarn down right here. Let's see if that's enough to get around the head. It may not be. So my yarn's not very thick, apparently. That's okay, we'll do some fancy stitching. It'll be all right. So if you have this problem too, don't worry, I'll show you how to fix it. You can always move this piece back further if you want, or you can get creative. Or you can decide, hey, that's the back of her head, who cares? But I'll show you what I am going to do. So first we're going to do is close the hole. Yeah, bet you were waiting for that to happen. Yes, now we're going to close the hole. So what we're going to do is we came out right here. I'm going to go under all of that and up really close to this stitch marker, but not under it or in it. Okay, if you were here for the Harry Potter TOTorial, then you already know how to close the head. But in case you weren't, we are going to go in these front loops right here. We're going to go in and out the next one, in the next one, out the next one, in the next one, and out the next one. Pull tight. And just kind of go in and out a few times on the head. Make sure you come out the back of the head. No matter how many times you go in and out, just make sure you come out the back of the head, because that's where we're going to start sewing. Okay. So now that the top of the head is good, we are going to start sewing the back of the head. So first thing we want to do is this middle piece right here, which is marked by my orange pin. That needs to be sewn on first. So you want to get it in the middle of her head. So find her eyes, trace backwards, make sure it's placed in the middle. You can finesse these later. You're just going to curl them around so that she's got kind of a poof at the end of her hair. But right now it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go under her head like this and come out somewhere around there under her hair. Okay? And that's all it takes, honestly. As long as you go in the head and out the hair, it's attached. So I'm going to move this pin. Now you can pick which direction you want to go. I'm going to go this way. So my next one, I'm going to move it a little bit closer, like this. And instead of going through the head at this time, I am going to go through this side stitch right here. Let's see. Like that. And then I'm going to go back on the other side like this. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing because I'm not describing it well. I'm sorry. Okay. Up like this. So as you can see, we're joining the hair together, basically. Very loose though. I'm not pulling tight here at all. Now I'm going to go through the head. But I'm not going to come out yet because I'm going to move this piece back. Now I'm going to go through the head. Don't keep your pins near your long piece of yarn. Okay. Now we're going to go through the side. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Right there. Go through the side. Other side on the opposite end. Everything is sticking to this yarn. I am so sorry. Okay. Down here. You just do it a few times, just enough that kind of holds the hair together, you know? But don't do it too far down because you got to make sure you can, you know, twist your little curly cues. Okay. We're going to go through the head again. Come out somewhere. It really doesn't matter where. Next to the hair you just attached. And I'm going to move my bang back. Not my bang, I'm sorry. I'm going to move this piece of hair behind the bangs even further because I ran out of room. But I'm going to make sure it doesn't look dorky later. So if this happened to you too because your yarn is too thin, then I'll show you how to fix it. It doesn't matter how many times you do this. You just want her hair to look, you know, you want it to be close together, like that. So there's no gaps, basically. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the other side of the head. So I'm going to go in and out the other side of the head, like that. Try to make sure her bangs are even, though. I keep saying bangs. I'm so sorry. Her side pieces are even behind the bangs. There we go. Pull it forward a little bit. There we go. Behind, well, I want it behind this stitch right there. Okay. Move the pin. And exactly what we just did. So go into this piece of hair somewhere. Remove the pin, go into the head, mount somewhere close, move the pin, move the hair somewhere close to this piece. Okay, now we have a large gap. Let me put this piece next to this piece, and then I'll show you what we can do. Sorry, I keep jumping out of frame. Go into the head. Okay. We have a huge gap here. Now what? Well, honestly, I'm just going to try and make it work. So I'm going to grab this side. Well, I'm going to grab this side real quick. I'm going to grab the edge of this one and the edge of this one as far out as I can get it. I am just going to kind of whip stitch these together, basically, and hope for the best. I told you guys, I am not a professional. I just make things work. Oh, now we have a gap here. So we go into the head. Come out here. I didn't close these two well enough, so. There we go, look. Much better. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're going to position her little curlicues. So all you have to do is just twist them. They will tell you which way they want to go because that's how they're made. And you just twist the little curls around like so. And then we will tack them down. So I'm gonna go back this way and start here. So I can just go around. So I'm going to go in the little corkscrew like this and pull up. Jump over to the next one, go down through the corkscrew, make sure it's how you want it before you do this step. Don't pull too tight because these are all connected and you don't want them to mess up. Go through the corkscrew like that. Oh, we got a bit of a gap here, so let's try and close that, okay? Through the corkscrew. See? I just do that all the way around. Now how to get to the other side? And I think I've tacked these down already. Yep, I have. Okay. So that's it. And to hide it, I just go through the back and out the back somewhere. Sew down anything else you think needs to be. If you've got any more gaps or anything, you can fill those in. I've got one right here that I'm not exactly in love with, so I'm gonna fix it. There we go. Okay. And you can tie a knot if you want to, but because my last one I ran around the same stitch twice, that's good enough. Fasten off. There we go. Let's add her eyelashes real quickly. So you just take a Sharpie and you just start at the base of her safety eye and just go over the same stitch. Work in little increments so you don't get that. See that bleeding? Yep. You can absolutely stitch on eyelashes if you want to. I just like the Sharpie, it's faster. For me. And I'm not the best with embroidery, so I like this shortcut. Okay. And then of course we add her scarf. Go under her hair. See, that's why we can't stitch the hair down too much to the body, because otherwise her scarf can't fit underneath. See? That's why we leave room so that her scarf fits. Tie a little bow or sew it to her, that's fine. And now Hermione Granger can join Ron Weasley and Harry Potter. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next time, come back and we'll make their companions. Hedwig, Crookshanks, and Scabbers.